Welcome. Today we will see worm gears. This is the figure of the worm gear. It consists of worm, which is a threaded screw, and worm wheel, which is a gear. Generally, worm is the driver. That's why motor is connected to the worm. Now we will see introduction. The worm gear drive consists of a worm and a worm wheel, as shown in the figure. See that this is the figure of worm and worm wheel. Worm wheel is a gear having teeth just like that of helical gear, that is inclined teeth, and worm is a threaded screw. This is the worm shaft and this is the worm. The worm is a threaded screw which can have single, double, triple or multi-start threads. Worm is generally the driver. The worm is usually of cylindrical form, having threads of the same shape as that of an involute track. The worm gear is similar to a helical gear with a face curved to conform to the shape of the worm. The worm is generally made of steel and worm gear of phosphor bronze or cast iron. Worm gears are used to transmit power at high velocity ratios between two non-intersecting shafts. The speed ratio may be as high as 300:1. The shafts are generally at right angles to each other. Worm gears are used in mechanical handling equipment, machine tools, and automobiles. Now we will see advantages of worm gear. First, the most important characteristic of worm gear drives is their high speed reduction. A speed reduction as high as 100:1 can be obtained with a single pair of worm gears. Second, the worm gear drives are compact with small overall dimensions compared with equivalent spur or helical gear drives having same speed reduction. Third, the operation is smooth and silent. Fourth, provision can be made for self-locking operation where the motion is transmitted only from the worm to the worm wheel. This is advantageous in applications like cranes and lifting devices. Limitations of worm gear drive. First, the efficiency is low compared with other types of gear drive. Second, the worm wheel in general is made of phosphor bronze, which increases the cost. Third, considerable amount of heat is generated in worm gear drives, which is required to be dissipated by a lubricating oil to the housing walls and finally to the surroundings. Fourth, the power transmitting capacity is low. Worm gear drives are used for up to 100 kW of power transmission. It is necessary to consider the relationship between the number of starts on the worm and the efficiency to decide the suitability of worm gear drive for a particular application. Two guidelines are as follows. First, single threaded worm gives large speed reduction, however the efficiency is low. The large velocity ratio is obtained at the cost of efficiency. Second, multi-threaded worm gives high efficiency, however the speed reduction is low. The high efficiency is obtained at the cost of speed reduction. The above guidelines lead to four major areas of application of worm gear drives. They are as follows. First, manually operated intermittent mechanisms. In these applications, large mechanical advantage is required and efficiency is of minor importance. The examples of these mechanisms include steering mechanism and opening and closing of gate valves by means of hand wheels. Second, motorized operated intermittent mechanisms. In these applications, a small capacity, low cost motor drives the mechanism and the efficiency is of minor importance. The examples of these mechanisms include drive for small hoist and opening and closing of large gate valves by means of electric motor. Motorized continuous operations. In these applications, worm gear drives are used in place of other gear drives due to space limitations and silent operation. The efficiency is more important in these applications. Multi-threaded worms are used in these applications to obtain higher efficiency. The examples of this type include drives for machine tools and elevators. Fourth, motorized speed increasing applications. In these applications, worm gear drives are preferred due to high velocity ratio and silent operation. The efficiency is more important in these applications. Speed increasing applications include drives for automotive supercharger and centrifugal cream chargers. In order to increase efficiency, the automotive supercharger is provided with 6 threaded worms having lead angle of about 45 degrees. Now we will see terminology of worm gears. This is the worm wheel. This is the worm. D1 is the diameter of the worm. D2 is the diameter of the worm wheel. Small m is center distance. This is the pitch center of the worm. Px is nothing but pitch. Therefore, a pair of worm gears is specified and designated by 4 quantities in the following manner: Z1/Z2/Q/M, where Z1 is equal to number of starts on the worm, Z2 is equal to number of teeth on the worm wheel, Q is equal to diameter quotient, and M is equal to module in mm. The diameter quotient is given by Q is equal to D1 upon M, where D1 is the pitch circle diameter of the worm. A schematic diagram of the worm and worm wheel is shown in figure. D1 and D2 are the pitch circle diameters of the worm and the worm wheel respectively. The worm is similar to a screw with single start or multi-start threads. The threads of the worm have an involute helicoid profile. The following terms are used in terminology of worm gear drives. First, axial pitch, that is Px. The axial pitch Px of the worm is defined as the distance measured from a point on one thread to the corresponding point on the adjacent thread, measured along the axis of the worm. Second, lead. The lead L of the worm is defined as the distance that a point on the helical profile will move when the worm is rotated through one revolution. It is the thread advance in one turn. For single start threads, the lead is equal to the axial pitch. For double start threads, the lead is twice the axial pitch, and so on. Therefore, L is equal to Px into Z1. The pitch circle diameter of the worm wheel is given by D2 is equal to M into Z2. Therefore, Px is equal to P into M. Therefore, lead L is equal to pi M into Z1. Now, third, lead angle. The lead angle gamma is defined as the angle between a tangent to the thread at the pitch diameter and a plane normal to the worm axis. Therefore, tan gamma is equal to Z1 upon Q. Fourth, helix angle. The helix angle psi is defined as the angle between a tangent to the worm at the pitch diameter and the axis of the worm. The worm helix angle is the component of the worm lead angle. Therefore, gamma plus psi is equal to 90 degree. Pressure angle alpha. The tooth pressure angle alpha is measured in a plane containing the axis of the worm and it is equal to 1/2 of the thread angle. It is illustrated in figure. The pressure angle should not be less than 20 degree for single and double start worms and 25 degree for triple and multi start worms. 6. Center distance A. It is the distance between the axis of the worm and the axis of the worm weir. Therefore, A is equal to 0.5 into bracket D1 plus D2, which is equal to 0.5 m into bracket Q plus Z2. Number of starts or threads on the worm, Z1. It is the number of thread helices cut around the cylindrical body of the worm along the length of the worm. The number of starts on the worm should not normally exceed 6. The recommended values of the number of starts are given in table. This table indicates number of starts on the table for the particular speed ratio. Now this first column is speed ratio, second column is number of starts on the worm, that is Z1. For speed ratio 20 and over, we will require single start thread. For speed ratio 12 to 16, we require double start thread. For speed ratio 8 to 12, we require triple start thread. For speed ratio 6 to 12, we require number of start, that is equal Z1 is equal to 4. For speed ratio 4 to 10, we require number of start Z1 is equal to 6. Now last definition, that is speed ratio I. It is the ratio of the speed of the worm to that of the speed of the gear. Therefore, I is equal to Z2 upon Z1, which is equal to N1 upon N2. Suffix 1 is used for worm and suffix 2 is used for worm gear. Okay, thank you. We will stop here.